Greetings and welcome to a first impression review. I almost called it a nicer turntable podcast, but a first impression review of B.o.B's Psycadelik Thoughtz, featuring myself, CSJR, and Joe Hova.
I'm still pissed off about this album cover. Like, this album cover looks stupid. Like, I'm still
pissed off about this. I'm pissed off about the name because I have to freaking Google search it every time I'm trying to type it up and put it in like a social network post or anything. It's really, really freaking annoying. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, I think we already talked about this kind of on one of the podcasts, but did you know that this existed?
We had no clue. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of the labels found out that Beyonce marketing was so successful, where you just drop a project out of thin air, that they're all trying to do it now. And you can do it with some artists. I mean, we've seen success with Cole and Kendrick, with and even Tyler with kind of like last minute announcements for their albums. But then there's artists like B.o.B and Raekwon and who can't really pull this off right now.
Right. Raekwon really shouldn't have tried to pull that off. My goodness.
Yeah.
But so as Joe said, we didn't really know too much about it. But I used to be a pretty big B.o.B fan. I enjoyed his first album. Yeah, I think me and you both enjoyed his first album, when most people kind of felt it was too popish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to like B.o.B versus Bobby Ray and stuff like that, that was already there. The foundation for that kind of stuff was already there. It's just he leaned so far into top 40 music that his stuff became less interesting. The No Genre mixtapes were fire.
Oh yeah, those are dope.
Yeah, No Genre 1 is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite project by him all around. But let's go ahead and jump into Psycadelik Thoughtz. So the project itself is not very, very long. Matter of fact, as we were sitting here getting ready to review it, I've listened to it nearly twice, and it didn't take long for me to get through it at all. But let's go ahead and talk about the first half of the project. Joe, you want to start it off?
The intro was kind of cool, but it was kind of like one of those okay, what do you got next? I liked Violence with Jon Bellion. Jon Bellion's dope.
Yes, this is very true.
Jon Bellion's dope. So that's pretty cool. Confucius sucked. Like, he was basically comparing getting head to Confucius. Bruh.
The analogy was bad.
Bruh.
I can't front. I enjoy that song.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
no.
Buddy. Yeah. You got that Confucius. I enjoy it. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pray for you tonight when I go to bed.
I apologize, man, but dog, Confucius, yes, that analogy is so stupid and played out, and people have done it before and done it in more clever ways. But that song is catchy. The hook is dope. The music is dope.
I can see that. I can see that going to radio. I can see that being a radio song.
Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, damn near the whole project could be radio. It's a lot of radio-friendly songs.
I wouldn't say the whole project, because a lot of the second half is more it's more of the slow, conscious vibe. The first half, though, I can, a lot of the first half is the poppy radio stuff. Like, Back and Forth is definitely poppy. Hourglass is the same way. The problem is that there's it's like a roller coaster for the first half. Like, there's a dope song, and then there's one that's kind of going down with corny punchlines, and just kind of it was lazy. Like, the first half felt lazy.
Okay. As far as my experience with the first half, Psycadelik Thoughtz, yes, was decent. It kind of underwhelmed when you listen to the rest of the project, I feel. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like it should have been an opener. It's something else could have led into the project for sure. Violence, I like a lot. And if you give that the whip test, it passes with flying colors. It's really, really good in the car. Confucius, I enjoy it. Hate on it all you want. I still enjoy it. Back and Forth is a kind of a blatant attempt at doing something very Daft Punk Pharrell-like with the melody and the production. Did not enjoy it. honestly, that's the only project on here that I did not enjoy at all in some kind of way. Plain Jane I like a lot.
Plain Jane was dope.
Yeah, Plain Jane super catchy. That will get stuck in your head. Hourglass was decent. It's not as memorable as like Plain Jane or Violence, but it's still decent. You want to go ahead and go into the second half also.
That's my favorite part is the second half. Like I think it starts with Up. Violet Vibrato.
Yeah.
That was okay. I thought that was kind of cool. But Up was like one of those like, and I feel like B.o.B still does this B.o.B versus Bobby Ray thing on all of his albums. And
with the way that they are sectioned off.
Yeah, like Up is definitely whichever side of him is the conscious rap side. You know, Joburg was dope. Love Life is dope. Have Nots was dope. I mean, they were all like stringy, introspective songs where you got to know him a little bit better. And he excels at that stuff. I just wish he would do that stuff more instead of like. And it's cool if you want to sell out, make the money. Fine, do that. But don't try to be both. If you're gonna sell out all the way. Don't be like, hey, I sold out, but I have all these conscious songs over here too, so you can, you can kind of like me.
Yeah, and he does these conscious songs so well because I guess that's kind of the illusion I run into with feeling that the whole thing is radio friendly is because songwriting wise, how everything is structured, it does seem very radio friendly or popish to me in a way. And that's probably because of all the different kinds of sounds that he incorporates or likes to rap over. I don't know how many hands he has in the production side of things. But I agree. The second half of the project is really strong. Up is probably my favorite song on the project, but that was a single for me. I posted that one. That was when I first found out that the project even existed. The single for that leaked out.
And what's funny too is that I think a lot of artists do that. So like they don't have to push a single. They can let the people pick a single. Because look at Future's Where You At. Technically, that's on the radio right now, and the fans basically picked that as a single. That's
true. That is very, very true, and it's smarter to do it that way. Let the people determine. J. Cole kind of went that way. He didn't have a single, but then people made some songs very, very popular after the fact. Kendrick's album kind of was the same way because when we did that review, we couldn't figure out what a single was going to be off that.
And then it turns out that King Kunta and All Right were the singles.
Yeah, and if you would have talked to me when we first did that review, I never would have thought that King Kunta was there. We talked about All Right being on there.
Yeah.
But the King Kunta, no chance in hell. But that is hot now, and you just got to let the people choose what they want.
Yep.
But Up is fire. Yeah, the second half is the strongest half. Not by a very large margin on my end because the only song that I felt was bad was Back and Forth. And I guess it's kind of balanced on your side because you enjoyed Back and Forth but didn't like Confucius.
Yeah. It's I would say I lean more towards like the second half though. Like the first half I could do without. Like if he dropped this as like an EP with just those 5 tracks and maybe Violence, I would be fully in. I would give him my money.
Yeah, gotcha. So what songs do you feel like he should have just shaved off? Like just the whole first half except for Violence?
Yeah, except for Violence and Plain Jane.
Okay. I think Psycadelik Thoughtz, the title track, and Back and Forth could have been cut off, and we would have had it's still overall a solid project. We're looking at the stuff that we cut off, but I think it would have been that much more sound.
It's a lot better than his feature on Ty Dolla $ign's Paranoid, where he said something nap time. Oh yeah,
it's a lot better than just about any of his. It's better than any of his features for quite a while now. Even some people hate his surf feature, which I can understand why. In the context of that particular song, but do you find it strange that this is a mixtape, but it's for sale?
No, because it's not a mixtape if it's for sale.
Why are they trying to push that now? Like
I don't know. I really don't understand it. If you put a price tag on it, it's an album. Plain and simple. unless it's documented that this is an EP, and you can only pay because for an EP you pay what, like $6 for or something like that, or an album you pay 10, 11, 12, whatever. Yeah, like it's an album if you're paying more than like $9 for it.
Yeah, but I think this one is getting the EP pricing. I think on Google Play it was for like $6.99 or something like that.
Yeah,
but it's weird that is happening. Or do you think we're going to go away from the free mixtapes? Because for the longest time, we've always felt that some of these mixtapes are album quality projects.
I don't think we're necessarily going to go all the way away, because that's going to hurt websites like DatPiff and Live Mixtapes and stuff like that. I mean, struggle rappers are going to continue putting out mixtapes, and artists are going to continue putting out mixtapes. It's just the labels. I think if you're signed to a label, they're going to be wanting in on that money now. So they're going to say, oh, he has a mixtape coming out, but they're going to, they may give it for free, but they also may slap a price tag on it.
True that. We do need to try to find a way to get an interview set up to kind of get some of the insight on how that works with like the production stuff and everything versus mixtapes and albums. Because, back in the day, people take a lot of liberties with instrumentals on mixtapes, but with these paid projects and shit that people are putting out, is it original production? Y'all just call it a mixtape because y'all don't want to, y'all trying to take the shortcut on sequencing or some shit, like just trying to get a pass. Like it feels like,
it feels like the labels are trying to cash in on even more of the culture.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But would you recommend the project?
You know what? As bad as some of those bars were in the first half, I think I'm going to recommend it. I think I would definitely recommend it for that second half. This is the first B.o.B project I have actually liked since his first album.
Yeah. If you count No Genre, that would be the first thing I liked. But if you don't, then the first album would be the last thing that I enjoyed. And No Genre 2, I like this a lot more than No Genre 2. No Genre 2 is okay. But this project's better. I recommend it as well. You heard it here, folks. You are getting a B.o.B project recommended to you in 2015. This has been a crazy-ass year.
It really has.
Last words.
JoeHovasMF.com. Of course, check out thecoalition.com for everything gaming and hip-hop. And if you haven't listened to that playlist yet, the 90s hip-hop and R&B remixes, you need to check that out because it's solid.
Yes, you do. Just hit play while you're at your spot. Just let it ride through the whole project.
Shouts to my girl.
Yeah, she killed that. We're going to have to get some more playlists out of her. But per usual, hit the eye annotation in the top right if you want to donate to thecoalition.com for all these incredible podcasts that we have and these different videos that we do. You have the Nights of the Turntable Definitive Hip Hop Podcast. You've got the Co-op. You've got the Throwdown. You've got Baby in the Beard. We're going to bring back Versus very soon. We're going to have people go one-on-one, whether that's people on the Coalition, like me, Joe, Rich, or Gary, or fans of the Coalition, going up against each other head-to-head on topics from music to gaming to film, the whole nine. So be ready for that. I cannot wait for it to come back because Versus is a really, really awesome thing, especially in this podcast space. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how things go down. But thank you for watching this first impression review of B.o.B Psycadelik Thougthz. Just like I said earlier, we do recommend it, surprisingly. Give it a listen. Share this review with your friends because they probably won't believe you if you told them it was good, but just tell them you got a couple other people that actually believe the same thing.
I don't even believe us. I got to watch it again to make sure that we were right.
I know, right? But I'm about to go back and listen to it right now. So we will see y'all next time. Peace out.
Later.